Reach my honey baskets, it makes me happy. Boy, that boy right there. I average my honey baskets, it makes me happy. So yeah, I'm live. I'm live. Who's more important? Well, the president's more important. Duh. Census challenge. I'm going live to make a. Hold on. I got scared real quick. But yeah, census challenge. I'm going live to Flashpoint. Anybody that has the senses and technology, so they don't get in a mirage of how intelligent and common sense they have. People want to play a benefit of doubt game and never give up on the benefit of doubt game. So I'm just going live right now to just clear up people's senses, because I go outside and people know what the fuck where the code red is, and I'm really shocked that people know where the code red is. You feel me? Census challenge. You feel me? That's that clout money. So I'm not really shocked, but the White House is in a code red for many reasons. But let's talk about my census point. You feel me? Let's talk about my census. Let's talk about my census. So yeah, there's people in the White House that's following the president, and Donald Trump keeps trying to illiterate with his glow. He's not, you feel me? He already sees people ready to rebuttal and contradict him saying it. So, but he's just glowing that he's the vice president, and the president is the leader of the army, like everybody knows. And the president, just like the vice president, which is in Donald Trump's glow, is about that life. So the synchronicity of what I am saying shows you even the president's listening and how important it is. My ears do work, so but yeah. So everybody knows the president is the number one general of the army. But the disrespect of clout is them saying the president just sends people off and isn't the number one shooter. So Donald Trump is in the president's spot as the vice president as being another shooter. And you feel me? That's why he condones we the people own power. And census challenge, y'all. Let's pause for a moment. Census challenge. So now the president is on it. And Boy Scouts that had to fight became known as a gang. So in the White House, when there's people in a code red, you feel me? You know how fraternities be like, nah, 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 nah. So they do that because you cannot play like telepathy is not real when the White House to the Black House, that's their, you feel me? That's their technology. So, you know, that's like, you feel me? That's like you telling the president that is census challenge. I'm not changing my volume. So, but I guess it's getting juicy. So, you know, census challenge, I'm getting threatened. But yeah, census challenge. Yeah, so now, that's like telling people in the White House telepathy isn't real. It's like telling them Walmart isn't real. You feel me? You can say Walmart is not real all you want, but if you was banned from Walmart, do not come to Walmart. You feel me? And the same with telepathy. You can say you can say that telepathy ain't real all you want, but if you overstep your boundaries, and you feel me, and the White House gives you a heat wave to back off, and you don't listen because you're trying to prove a point that you of playing dumb, then you know, census challenge. I haven't changed my attitude, my voice, or nothing, but fear is making it sound like I'm coming up with a different attitude, maybe a different altitude, not a different attitude. So it's just follow that theme as it tries to stink on me like a skunk. So, yeah, that's crazy. So, you know, that's why I went live, because I feel like this was a good point to make people know that the real cops know castles are real. You feel me? Cops was actually for castles. So, you know, killing for a cop is not out the normal. So, you know, if cops are in a code red, you're going to have these people that are on a last warning to stop following that cop. And they're going to have a uniform on and everything. But they're not the cop. You feel me? They're just going through a procedure to know that cop wasn't following you, wasn't worried about you, was going about the day, and you followed that cop. And I'm saying this because if you have beef with somebody, it gets handled. You feel me? So when people be like, "Oh, you a gang?" What are you talking about? The commercial businesses are the whole common law dialogue of when it's okay to do that. That's why the Second Amendment, you feel me, falls under common law. So when they talk about, so when you get pulled over and they arrest you for having a firearm, you don't have to have a license for it. That means that cop was in a code red, and that person was in a seminar for putting that cop in a code red, and they chose to hit the start menu for Grand Theft Auto. You feel me? That's what they did. They pulled you over when they wasn't supposed to, because they don't got a delegation authority order or nothing. You feel me? So instead of going through the whole seminar and then getting their last ultimatum to stop following the cop, they chose to go Grand Theft Auto with the seminar of following that cop, pull someone over and act like they putting they spiting that cop. You feel me? Now you feel me? So you feel me? Yeah, I don't have to elaborate. Census challenge. That's somebody that's playing the benefit of doubt game. So, you know, in this situation, what I am saying, I'm just talking. You feel me? And I'm coming with facts. It is just census challenge. So, you know, I'm being a magnet for anybody, because I was just watching Donald Trump, and this people was trying to throw Donald Trump off. So I'm just being a magnet to help anybody that needs to know, like, my senses are as good as any cop, FBI using technology, you feel me, without using technology, you feel me? This is just a plus, you feel me? And, you know, it's y'all fault why I can't get on my phone and hit up a friend and then be like, hey, man, yeah, I sense you, but I'm on my phone watching you at the same time, like I'm doing right now with myself. Yeah, so, you know, it's just a census challenge. Like, I know who this is, but census challenge, people are following me to not bring it up because they're trying to, so, you know, I'm not about to play that game when they're not supposed to be following me. Because usually Facebook will tell you who's viewing, but people are using their senses to catch the people that are viewing and waiting to be like, oh yeah, that's when I don't have to say that. I already know who's viewing without Facebook saying it. So, you know, I'm just trying to make sure everybody's senses is as sharp and keen to know common law is real. And like I was just saying earlier, cops protect castles. So, you know, it's a common law thing to know. Like, code red means redo. If you're in a code red, you can be in the code red as long as you want. If you get kicked out your house in the code red, you're going to get a redo when the code red is over. You feel me? So if people got you in a code red, and, you know, census challenge, I don't have to elaborate. I guess I'm just so productive. We can be oblivious. But yeah, that's the main gist of what I'm doing, just being a magnet to people thinking that they can corner people in and then make a joke about, well, you know you're better than me. Okay, but if you had took advantage of me, you would not be saying, why did I go so hard on you for doing something that you know I wouldn't get away with? You could have just stopped me from doing it and let me go the other way. But you're not even learning your lesson for me being hard on you. Why would I not be hard on you when I need to make a lesson for anybody else that thinks they're going to get away and notice she's just mad or he's just mad because they got dealt with? You feel me? People outside looking in, they're like, oh, nah. I might have been mad for being dealt with and do it again too, but I'd rather go the other way and respect personal space than go through getting dealt with. So yeah. So, you know, census challenge, people want me to talk about how, you feel me? Because I was on Instagram being the most famous underground artist, you feel me? Because I didn't lose my popularity from Norcross, and I'm just like Yoshi. Yoshi had all the girls. I saw him at, it was middle school. I was like, damn, this nigga had all the girls and stuff. Like, I had that in single digits. But, you know, nothing changed. I didn't lose all the girls. So, you know, you feel me? If it wasn't a code red, I would have them in my phone. But since it's a code red for people still seeing that I have all the girls, I'm not about to just ask people that I've been had to put their phone number in, and then when I try to talk to them on the phone, I sound whack as fuck because people want to act like me. Oh yeah, you did what, girl? Nah, code red. So yeah, and census challenge. Who forgot the train of thought? Trying to copy me as an example. So yeah, so now I have to change the subject because they put that subject in the code red. And
do you have any trash?
census challenge. Census challenge. Code red. Census challenge. I done said census challenge so many times. So, the objective of people is to make people be oblivious to their senses so they can take advantage of people. So people walk around like you can't sense when you don't want to be approached. You feel me? People walk around like they can't sense when you say, I will handle things myself. You feel me? People walk around, census challenge people is trying to mock what I'm about to say next because I'm going in that chronological aura of energy. People walk around like you don't know what they're up to. And then people walk around like you don't know, they don't know when you dealt with them from the Backstreetz to the frontstreetz. So now the Backstreetz ain't real, but census challenge, okay? Because, like I said, people want me to bring up me being upheld. People, you feel me? Census challenge. People that are not my friends be like, no, you got locked up. I'm like, how did I get locked up when I dealt with them in the Backstreetz? And people get locked up to leave and get dealt with in the Backstreetz to the frontstreetz. People don't, you feel me? That's why so that's how you know detention centers are in the code red, because it's only supposed to be 48 hours of someone meditating and learning that they're going to get dealt with, and it's going to get harsher the less they learn. Since it's challenged, as people try to say, I have an attitude for speaking the truth and people knowing better. So what just happened was someone got dealt with for ignoring my senses. And like I said, for another example, since I haven't talked about it, it's been this whole mirage of what my life is, even though, like I said, I have the same people I had since single digits following me, and they've been marking them on my telepathy cell phone. And I have a telepathy translator, and I can't even put the telepathy translator number in my phone because people gonna try to mock me for being Mr. Popular. So, jungle school, I'm Mr. Popular. I don't want to say no other word to take away from anybody else's intelligence. So, what happened was when I got upheld, just like this situation, I felt I had people was trying to say I was scared, but that wasn't my heartbeats. So what happened was someone tried to stink they fear on me just now and got dealt with faster than when I got upheld, and it was like a moment of fear around me, but it wasn't my fear. So but guess whose fear was? Because it wasn't the people that got locked up in the detention center's fear, because I already dealt with their fear when I was younger. And so it was the people in uniforms fear. So tell me, what does that make me if I gather everybody's fear in a uniform and I'm not scared, and then the people that didn't that's doing their job in the detention center didn't have fear? You feel me? There's cops in code red, and they're not respecting someone that has a rank like a chief, because I'm not trying to sound cocky. Census challenge. So that being said, life repeats itself. That's what an ancestor is. It's someone that lived the life before their descendants. And ancestors are supposed to be coming back. So the problem is, and we're talking after generation and generation, then we go to its ancestors' descendants being generations. So what's happening is Michael Vick opened it up for Cam Newton to be the first overall draft pick. Because in the end, Cam Newton was in the webs and ebbs of the generation before him African American attitudes. So Michael Vick was the leader of African American attitudes. If people, you feel me, if he didn't go first or not, it would have been Michael Vick's fault for why Cam Newton doesn't go first overall, or they say he had an attitude. So they were trying. So Michael Vick didn't have an attitude, and to avoid him not having an attitude, they still wanted to call humbleness an attitude. So Cam Newton was the result and proof. So because the problem was, now they're trying to say Cam Newton is rude for keeping his youth because Michael Vick matured. But that doesn't make sense. You can't tell another man that's still as mature as Michael Vick that he can't be in his youth of his generation because Michael Vick chose to be the first overall melanated quarterback. So once again, census challenge, and that's my problem. People's ready to have a conversation with me and fake an argument. Census challenge. So all I do is tell the truth. You feel me? It's not me reading anything. It's me observing people getting mad at me telling the truth, and I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do about it? And people want to be hostile, but know that my hostility from the Backstreetz to the frontstreetz is nothing to play with. That the bond gets the title. So, when I'm talking, they try to play like I'm the one upset because they're upset that they can't get hostile with me for telling the truth. So that's how an argument happens when I tell the truth. And then people try to mock that, but don't have that composure. And then when they talk to somebody that tells them you do not have composure like those type of people, and then I talk to someone that has told them that to show people's character, then the people that are mad because they're right follow me when I'm talking to somebody. And that's the White House thing I was talking about. So, we're gonna hear my popularity. If someone plays this back, we will hear my popularity because I'm a roaster at the same time. I know how to roast at the same time. Census challenge, you feel me? I'm just talking about how I can sense everybody or where they are, and I still give everybody the personal space they ask for. So, you feel me? I don't invade space, but anything, I'm not going to stop a blind spot if someone tries to come after me for a blind spot. And then, a good way to know where you fit in the world is looking at Donald Trump. Or, me. You can look at me too, because you feel me? I do the same thing Donald Trump does. But it's looking at Donald Trump and how he surveys the world and who he look at security in the republic. And I'm just talking about how census challenge. You feel me? I'm just trying to keep that checkpoint of census while I'm consciously meditating with my eyes open of people trying to throw off my senses. And yeah, thank you. So it's not hard to know that people want to play the blame game for overstepping boundaries, because the one thing out of their stupidity that they remember is life is a free will thing. So if they can't attack you, they feel like you took away their free will, which is a bad joke. So once again, census challenge. And I could call you out for who you are since it didn't show up on Facebook. But census challenge, you feel me? I'm not about to be with the other people sensing that I'm that broad energy, and they want to act like it's like a halt type shit, like beware of God type shit, because that's what they doing. Like, I can't even play a senses challenge game. I have to talk about people trying to throw off people's senses. So, it's once again, like I was just saying, it's a free will. People's stupidity say, and at census challenge, you can see how close someone is to doing it. Well, very close. So people say, since they can't attack you, you took away their free will. And I'm like, well, aren't you trying to take away my free will? Well, checkmate, bitch. Like, fuck. Somebody got to win, and we both try to take away someone's free will. Who about to win? So, they try to say you're not humble no more because they want to attack you and take away your free will. And all you're doing is taking away their will to attack you. So, census challenge, that doesn't mean everything is all. You feel me? And I'm just trying to figure out who don't remember their childhood. You feel me? I thought when people be like, damn, I haven't been to the mall in a minute, that's like a shout out to people trying to follow them. I swear I thought that's what people be like, oh, I haven't been in the mall in a minute. They shouting out the people that haven't seen them in the mall. There's people here that haven't seen them in the mall in a long time. But I'm not going to go to the mall when you're at the mall all the time. You feel me? So I say that because people be like, I don't remember my childhood. You feel me? Shouting out they senses. I don't remember my childhood. You feel me? People don't want to talk about that person's childhood that he's around. But if he goes around someone with the glow of that don't care, then you feel me, it's bright in his mind. Even, you feel me? So, so that's how you know it's a code red, because it's just like I said, I'm hearing opinions of what I'm going through and how I feel about it. And I was on Instagram doing the census challenge, but I didn't call it the census challenge. I just did the census challenge with comments. So I just went live and I just started talking to everybody in the whole world. They was asking all these they was asking questions, and I was like, God damn! I said I'm the most famous underground artist. I didn't say I was I didn't say this is me to be your science teacher or your history. You feel me? That's what they kept asking about. High story and math and how I can, and how in the future I fix my laptop once the clout is gone. And I'm like, yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I'm trying to fix my laptop. You feel me? I don't need to pay nobody. You feel me? So now I'm with a whole glow that I don't need to pay nobody. So census challenge is I'm radiating that I'm intelligent and I'm hands-on. And I'm going through the same thing that mechanics go through while they retire early. Mechanics retire by how many cars they work on. So people think it's simple. People think once you become a mechanic, you can work on cars all day. You get paid. No. A mechanic has to schedule his time right for when people try to follow him when he goes into his shop. Because if he work on 1,000 cars in a year, or you feel me, whatever make the clout of him not being able to work on a car because he might cut off his hand or hurt himself, you feel me? He has to find another get up. So so this is what heightens the price of mechanics working. But if you feel me, if he schedules and heightens his price on when he works, and you feel me, he can work on cars his whole life without and then you feel me, when he gets to a certain age, he can retire. But you feel me, if he's like, yeah, I'll work on your car, yeah, I'll work on your over and over again, and people is trying to play with his senses, he's gonna have to retire early and find another gig. And people can't wait to mock people about that. I'm not saying anything to make people be like, oh yeah, he didn't told me a plot about. No, this is nothing brand new. So it's the same with my laptop. It's just like, obviously people is following me from when I was on my Elon Musk type stuff, because you feel me, it's such an easy fix. Every time I'm about to fix it, I hear this big jam census challenge, and I'm like, bro, it's such an easy fix. Can you just leave me alone? Stop following me, because you don't know how to fix stuff. I'm not talking to people that know how to fix stuff, obviously. But no, they just jealous and is waiting for the Corvette to percolate. Time for the percolator. You feel me? Everybody's waiting for the percolator. That's the best way to put it. So yeah. So since this challenge, you feel me? What's really worse about people trying people's senses is that, you feel me? Census challenge. There's just nothing else to say about it. People want a brochure. You feel me? I know from single digits to now, you got a brochure of how not to mess with me, and you're using the brochure the other way. You feel me? But yeah, I was on Instagram, like, just answering questions, and I was telling them who I was as a spirit. They was asking, like, aren't you that spirit? And I was like, yeah. And I was just like, well, damn. It's just like, I was just trying to talk about music and fixing the laptop the most. Y'all started talking about some, you feel me, man, this clout should be over with. And I'm like, slick, but baby steps. You feel me? Cause you feel me? If we go past baby steps, they're gonna talk about that don't make sense. And I'm like, do you know it? That's why I don't want to have my comments on. You feel me? Like, people that comments on, they have to deal. You feel me? The second someone comes into the jungle with wanting their comments on, people make this whole, you feel me, this whole mask of what that person is supposed to be doing. You feel me? So imagine if I came into the jungle wanting my comments on. You feel me? I'm gonna be looked at as all the, you feel me, census challenge that. But I got my comments off. You feel me? I'm the same person. You feel me? Census challenge. So, people get dealt with in the Backstreetz, and then so it's like this. Census challenge. If someone told me, and so this is how assassinations work. People talk in the Backstreetz, okay? This is how people jump people. You feel me? This is how people corner people. This is how people build up their questions. They talk in the Backstreetz, and then they come to the front streets playing dumb. Now, people that are about that life expect people to respect what they did in the back streets and not to play dumb in the front streets. So, in the end, the front streets is going to turn into the back streets, because where does water go? You feel me? You feel me? I'm talking about water on that coast. Sooner or later, that water gonna flow to this coast. You feel me? That's the speed of everything. which can be faster. So, it's just like in the back streets, what do you do? Okay. So, what is that called to be in the front streets? Because you can look at the back streets as your inventory. You feel me? Back streets is your story. You feel me? Your high story. And the front streets is just you going on with life. You feel me? Like, hey, aren't you that? You're like, yeah. Why aren't you doing it? Because you get older, guy. That's why. You feel me? That's all Backstreets to Front Streets is. So you feel me? Just imagine who Census Challenge. So, from the back streets, all of that energy. Now to the front streets. Why are you acting like that? Because you're mocking me in the back street. You feel me? Like, what? Look. So that shows you people. Census Challenge. There's a lot of people, but no matter how close they are, people don't have nothing going for their life. I want that money like the ring I never won. I want. Because, I'm not about to keep elaborating on back streets to the front street stuff. But, I feel like back streets to the front streets. So Census Challenge, now someone's trying to follow my wordplay because I done said a lot and they don't look that smart. Or the camouflage of stupidity is. So they're trying to figure out Census Challenge, what people think it looks like to be that out in the open. That doesn't make you naked, you feel me? Because you was already out in the open. It just makes you stupid. So like I was talking about how people will get fired and don't leave. You feel me? If you kicked out of the back streets and now you in the front streets, you feel me? Time is going. You feel me? You can't go back in time. So this is the big problem in the world. Everybody that's somebody in the world, they respect the back streets because it's just their story. It's just their lifestyle. It's just, you feel me? Me being in single digits is the back streets. You feel me? Me in double digits is the front streets right now. You feel me? So, and then, the future, you feel me? The future is the front streets. You feel me? The future is the front streets, and the present is the back streets for the future. So, if people's not in the front streets of the future, you feel me? You can tell they're getting dealt with from the future, from the back streets. And I've done a lot of stuff in the back streets, so it's just, for someone to talk to me and be oblivious. No, this is what really, they're not oblivious to what I did in the back street, but to act oblivious in my face. You feel me? Put on a whole act like they oblivious to what I done in the back streets. I am so puzzled, you feel me, in the most respectful way that I can be. You feel me? Because then there's nothing to talk about. if you's gonna act like the Backstreetz ain't real. And then, you know, I might be like, all right, let me, because I'm tired of hearing about I'm the problem or something. So, you know, I might just walk up and this whole facade of an attitude pull up. And I'm like, so, you know, I just watch the attitude they think I have. And I be like, senses challenge. I might move something so they can know I don't have attitude. And they jump. And I'm like, you feel me? Senses challenge. I'm talking about everybody in the world. You feel me? From South with Net. You feel me? From Stelville Middle. From Heads Up 7 Up. And Peachtree Elementary. You feel me? I tell you boys, it can get hot. Oh my gosh. But you know, people's not gonna give up, no matter if I tell them I see them. So let me give you another example. I had credit cards, right? You know, I was like, let me play they little stupid game of saying they say they're gonna follow common law. You feel me? I'm not about to bring up who I am from the back streets to the front streets. They say they're gonna follow the rules. Whoever made the rules from the back streets to the front streets, they're made for people to be able to get along without having to be friends. So I'm like, okay. I was paying my credit cards. Then I started learning about how to discharge debt. And you feel me? Census challenge. I was like, okay, everybody admits. So I started looking up stuff. You feel me? So I started being a jungle teacher. I started being a teacher in the jungle with people's senses of watching me. So I taught everybody how to discharge debt. You feel me? You feel me? That it's like a Pac-Man game, like type shit. You feel me? So, you feel me? Of course, Backstreet's the front street. You know how you got dealt with it. You thought that way. Census challenge. So you know, so yeah, I'm not about to. You feel me? People's waiting for me to bogart and be like, hey. But it's just like, I hit harder than that when I'm calm. Actually, than they think, and how hard I hit. If I came with that attitude, is more than you can fathom. So that's one way you can know I'm not mad. And so yeah, I looked up 1933, United States went bankrupt. Saw a whole checkpoint chime when I looked that up, and that's just, you feel me, census challenge of when I was in my own apartment. You feel me? Oh, before that, I was like, what does I was what? I don't remember how old I was. 2007 though. You feel me? Census challenge. You feel me? This helped they jam. So 2007, and I wasn't great at calculus. So you know, I was a teacher in calculus too. So you know, 2007, I asked, what if claiming bankruptcy? Someone told me it's a restart. You feel me? Census challenge. You feel me? The whole world. You feel me? Because in the end, and this is how you know I got the whole world in my hands type ish. Like I said, in my single digits, I had all the ladies and I never lost them, so I would just collect more. You feel me? If there was more to get. If there was more to get. You feel me? Outside of the circle I have. And so, you know, off of that majority, there's a minority. So, you know, 2007, I asked, what is claiming bankruptcy? And you feel me? It's a restart. You feel me? And that threw me all the way off. Because I was like, a restart. You feel me? This is 2007. I'm trying to figure out what you mean it's a restart. You can claim bankruptcy anytime you want then. That's what I was doing in my head. Majority and minority agreed. You slick can claim bankruptcy anytime you want. So that was the pinpoint of me going out on a limb when I felt like I didn't got to a checkpoint of people understanding and discharging debt. But I didn't. I didn't go out into a limb until 18 or 17. So, 'cause that's how I do things. And then when I start learning, I don't go out into another limb until it's oversaturated, that people know how I'm maneuvering, and they gave me my personal space. You feel me? So, people plan for my personal space to outact. So that's what makes me the most famous underground artist. And, so yeah, so I started learning about discharging debt, got in my apartment, and I noticed that I went through the whole tenant. Contractor. You feel me? So I already knew what it meant, but once again, benefit of doubt. In this world of not trying to start a fight, I was a contractor in the apartment. And census challenge. So I was like, okay, we just confirmed this is what a contractor is. I just didn't want to argue and hear people in the background talking about, what is that aura doing? Type shit. So it got confirmed that they would look stupid saying that. And that's slick how I've been leveling up like a goddamn Grand Theft Auto game without jacking people. And then I looked up 1933, United States went bankrupt, and I guess it ricocheted that I understood debt needs to be discharged. And so I started studying, and then until I hit, this was 17, 18, 19, and then until I hit 20 years old, I didn't move. You feel me? But I was like, a house, people can run after you. A car, people will stalk you. So I told people I just need a ride to the dealership. You do not have to stay. And I did this twice, actually. But then this is how I knew that life is still a pirate lifestyle. You feel me? We're still in when I got the car, I understood that people just pirate. People just want to be pirates to how life work. You feel me? They want to finesse how life work, like a pirate or something. But a pirate doesn't finesse. A pirate traps. You feel me? A pirate traps. He doesn't finesse. But they try to call it trapping and finessing. And it's really his hospitality, him protecting his hospitality. And so I got the car with zero down payment. I didn't give a social security card. I didn't show a social security card. I didn't even have a job. I told them I'm an entrepreneur. And they were gonna get me in the car for being an entrepreneur, zero down payment. But then people that I said to leave, I would have got like a 2012 or something. 2012 or 2013 or something. They stayed and talked about co-signing. And this is where businesses, Hyundai saw that I was the adult in the whole facility, because then they started trying to yell at the business, knowing that they're not going to yell back when they're trying to say, when they was going to say, well, if he doesn't want to, you feel me, if he doesn't want you as a you feel me, when they was about to say, if he doesn't want you as a co-sign, he doesn't need you, they was about to yell at them. So, I just said, hey, I just trying to get in the car. And because, and I'm glowing with, I'm trying to get in, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not about to pay anything if I don't need to pay anything. And you feel me? They know that I'm walking in with that glow. So, they trying to finesse like we have somebody we can census challenge. So I see that you caught something I was saying, but we can play dumb. So yeah. Moment of silence, because I know that's shocking. But yeah. So then I got in the car without showing a social security card. And they asked him, what does he do? And he said, he's a manager, you feel me? And they was like, you're a manager? For who? And then they just got up because, you feel me, they was already about to hey, census challenge, I can call you out, but the immaturity of census, being jealous of how my census work, on some Kevin Hart shit. So yeah, so I got in the they were saying you don't need a cosign, but they was about to argue, and they're like, the business like, we're not about to argue with you, we're just trying to give you a fact. And so they just didn't say it. I was like, I'm just trying to get in the car. Then after they asked him, what are you, what do you do? And he said he's a manager. And they was about to ask for who, but he pointed out for who he was working for, not, you feel me? So that heightened my entrepreneurship of Backstreetz to frontstreetz. So in the end, it's a business. So they're like, they can't disrespect me, because if the Backstreetz, you're this guy for the business, that would be dumb as shit when you show up to the frontstreetz like now, and we're trying to be against you, and you can get us fired. So they just jumped up after he said he's a manager, and I think no, I didn't. I didn't have a social security card or ID. I just went in there wanting to get a car and hear what they're gonna say. I just wanted to go in there and hear what they're gonna say. And so they jumped up because he came with we came with our what we make, and census challenge. And then they was like, let's get you in the car. And then I was still with dumb and dumber that don't want me to show my intelligence. Census challenge. And so they said, we gotta put a tag on your car, but they gave me the keys. I signed in a way to say that the meeting of minds from Backstreet with frontstreetz, you feel me, was correct. I'm in my propria persona, you feel. I'm that person from the Backstreetz to Hyundai. And you feel me, we're just riding the stupidity to get that person from the Backstreetz a car. We just riding the bullshit in the frontstreetz to get that person a car, and the stupidity in the frontstreetz. So I got a car, and then just like how I'm thinking the Backstreetz handles the frontstreetz now, But I learned my lesson. I'm hitting Allie up trying to figure out what's the problem. And every time I'm about to bring up the Backstreetz, they're like, yeah. You feel me? They come with an energy like and they're about to lie this time. And I'm like, well, first of all, because I didn't study this, I said, how does a bank own anything? You're just supposed to be where I put my car. And he didn't know what to say, and we still got that recording for the Backstreetz as I handle it in the Backstreetz, and it's just not resulting in the frontstreetz. So this is how I just knew people just need to be fired. And, I had to prove I am who I am from the Backstreetz. And, since this challenge, they told me, how do I expect for something to be paid? And I'm like, bro, is you talking about the Backstreetz? What do you mean? What did you talk? You feel me? I'm like, did you just say you died in the Backstreetz and you want revenge? You feel me? That's what it sounded like he told me. Because I was like, what are you talking about? Answer the question. How does a depository own something? Because Hyundai told me it's up to the bank. And now you guys are telling me it's up to Hyundai. But if I call Hyundai right now, they're going to tell me it's up to the bank to release your car. So now you're giving me an ultimatum because it's my bank. And you don't own my bank. You're supposed to be security for my bank. Census challenge. So, that co-redded the car. So, I'm just helping. I was just started helping in the co-red. So then I was like, you know what? Social Security cards was made just like LA Fitness cards was made. You feel me? The beep. Those, you feel me? Social Security cards is just like that. So I was like, let me figure out how to use the Social Security card right. I started studying, and just like I was saying about majority already know from the Backstreetz, and the minority that's getting fired, just mad but confirmed. So I was like, okay. So, I used the Social Security card the right way. Discharged the debt. I waited a couple weeks. You feel me? And then 1 week came. And I noticed a change. And I was like, first of all, if I didn't write a check. If it would bounce in the next 24 hours. It would not be there for a week that I'm chilling at the crib for a week. I'm chilling, you feel me? I'm downtown for a week or two. Sent Kalisha a picture that I discharged today. Came back a week or two later telling her if she's asking you for money, she's lying to you. There's nothing to pay on the car. I changed the password too. So then, after you send all of that, I call Ali Bank up because I'm trying to figure out what happened. And they come with this whole energy saying, they didn't say it out loud because, that puts it in a cold red. That I called and said I didn't pay it off. You feel me? You know how I'm trying to tell them what ain't the Backstreetz real? and they got this energy ready to try to rebuttal a benefit of doubt. You feel me? I came with that same, you feel me? Same, and I'm like, I didn't call y'all and tell y'all I didn't pay my car off. So, and this is where I figured out the minority of people that need to be fired are proven telepathy is real. And it's been years since I had been in that car since the code red. So, they've been proving telepathy is real for a minute and just sabotaging people. And so, you feel me? Just a pool, and you feel me? We can check this. Whoever gets that authority can check the surveillance of, you feel me, Homeland Security and stuff, and see that there's a whole web of them watching people correlately speak to each other, but not really be cool. So yeah, so then they told my car after, you feel me, that whole conversation of me telling them, what do y'all have to do with my car? And we went to go get the car back, right? And once again, I changed the password, so we went up there. First, I went up there and told them what do they need with my car, and they was like, if Ali tells you census challenge, I'm not riding that wave of bullshit that got filed by the FBI. And I called them up, and they told me, oh, you can come get your car. And I was like, I can come get my car? They was like, yeah. Then I asked for a ride to go get my car. Census challenge to show you how people try to put people in an illusion. So I asked for a ride to go get my car. And, you feel me? I came with the money to, if I had to pay them the minimum. And they was like, no, you don't have nothing. You don't need to pay nothing. Just sign this piece of paper. I signed a piece of paper, didn't have to pay nothing, didn't pay Ali. And that was where I was supposed to go on off the code red. But instead, what happened was, the people that still don't want me to prosper was still following me and teamed up with other people, mad that they got fired and followed Ali Bank and whatever agency that was in charge of making sure these people know that means don't follow, got rid of them, and they came back off of the Future being the bands and shit like that. And came with some fib like she paid it. I'm like, you didn't pay, because if you paid, they would have told us to pay the toll people too. I didn't argue with the toll people. That they was like, you know what, scratch it. They just knew they was wrong. So then it just became, I already know I'm about to lose my car because you feel me? I'm about to go through a whole mirage because I'm not mad. I don't have an attitude. You feel me? I can tell what I did in the Backstreetz was real because they're telling me that I'm about to fight fired wannabe cops. And I'm like, I'm just chilling in my car. I didn't sit. And I'm still waiting for when I'm gonna fight fired wannabe cops. But I guess I did it in the Backstreetz and it wasn't really a fight, so I guess me not about to fight fired wannabe cops plus what I'm about equals them finally being able to beat my ass. And that's how that's how my Hyundai went. So then, with the credit cards, because, like I said, Backstreetz to the frontstreetz, census challenge. So with the credit cards, it's a simple, how does a credit card work? What the fuck is that? You feel me? Census challenge. And they keep telling me, you feel me? Obviously I already know, but off of not just trying to start an argument with other people's senses, that when people don't pay their credit cards, census challenge. So, like I said, I already know. And you already know. And you, yeah. So, I'm like, well, I can damn sure do this shit with the credit cards. I'm getting called to tell people that they need to pay their credit cards or else. You feel me? Like, how are you telling me that people with their credit cards are getting threatened from me? That is rude. That is very rude. And then to play dumb like it's not you. Like, so I told people stop paying on my credit cards. I will pay my credit cards. And people just don't listen. And did the same thing at the same amount. So I was like, well, I'm not about to threaten myself if I don't pay my credit cards and people are stalking me. So I didn't pay my credit cards. And then, I got called for my credit card. And they call telling me to speak. Tell them. I'm like, and that's census challenge, code red, stew in the jungle. Everything is just organized in a way that we're gonna hear this noise until it gets to the peak of percolator time. But I think it's past percolator time. Census challenge. And I think that's a good way to establish that the minority doesn't care. They never created nothing and they're getting help because if they don't get help, that's them. That's us destroying their free will of finessing for help. So, and they still want to say they finesse for help. You feel me? And that's all, folks. We got to a point where I know who that is. Census challenge. ZZ. You feel me? I got the clips. I got the clips. I got the clips.